Yes. Yes. And with the sounds of the water pouring into the cup. Welcome back to another episode of Controllers and Couches. I'm one part of the condiments, FullMetalChicken.
Are you the tomato sauce or are you the mustard?
I think I'm the mustard.
Colonel Mustard.
Colonel Mustard
In the dining room.
With a broom.
Where,
or a candlestick.
I think it's on that stack of board games behind you, dude.
Yeah.
Devo.
So there you go.
Is there a Cluedo online?
Yeah.
Is it on the Xbox Live Marketplace?
I'll have a look. But if it's not, we could always create it. Imagine that. Welcome to Podcast Cluedo. Today we're going to see what happens when you do Control-Alt-Delete in the kitchen or the lounge room. Oh no, the server has died.
How are you, my friend?
I'm retarded as usual.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
But apparently, someone near us decided to go and... So now they've, got COVID. So congratulations.
We got a text message in the middle of the day.
Hello, this is the Australian government.
You literally went out just to go food shopping for like the fortnight, and you came home, we put everything away, and then we got the text message and...
And literally the text message reads as follows. Chief Health Officer, COVID-19 exposure has been located at, this particular area. If you have symptoms, get tested. More info at, blah, 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 VicGov. So, yeah. Congrats. The social distancing... They should have gotten on the beers. They should have gotten on the beers, like I'm going to once this is done. Yes. So, if anyone has a suggestion of what beers I should do, like, during the podcast or, post or prior, it could be like the Three Ghosts of Christmas.
Dude, we're literally the biggest non-alcoholics the world has ever seen. You bought wine to cook with. Yeah. And we didn't have a bottle.
Yeah. I had to go and get a bottle opener. I mean, obviously there is the option of smashing said bottle, but that kind of has the reverse effect.
So yeah, it's just been a weird time.
Weird. So I look at it and go, okay, everyone obviously is, well and truly over COVID-19. Well, I was actually out today and I'm seeing people just, there is no other way of putting it. You literally, if this was a scientific experiment and you were doing a population study, you can literally see who the outliers are, and you can literally see Darwinism in its finest. Darwin would have been like, you're gone, you're gone.
Can you imagine the people in the 1920s just hearing about dumb millennial, like people of the, 100 years, a century later, just living in the epitome of privilege.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to give two shits.
Nothing.
About an illness. You get it, whatever. I'll deal with it when I deal with it. Stuff everyone else.
I just, obviously now it's a case of I just find it funny. And you know why? Just think of it this way. In 1720, there was a plague. In 1820, there was a cholera outbreak. In 1920, there was the Spanish flu.
Spanish flu.
The spinach flu. And in 2020, we have coronavirus. What's the go? Like, why crank out this every 100 years? Why are they testing?
Dude. I'm actually saddened that I won't be around to see what happens in the next one.
It's interesting.
I'll fall short by a little
It's
while.
like everyone has a, global reset. What's the conspiracy? Well, here's the thing, though. You can't stop a virus. Everyone out there, you can...
You can't stop it, but you can put in place a lot of preventative measures and to do stuff. But I don't know. Honestly, it's...
Well, I mean, look at it this way. If they say that...
I'm at the point where I don't think things will never be what they were before. Right?
Yeah.
We're going to be in lockdown, whether it be stage 4? Stage 3, whatever.
Oh, who knows, probably stage 6.
Until the end of the year. And as soon as we're going to get a little bit of leeway, because everyone's like, oh yeah, we're going to get on the Christmas, trend, that's when cases are going to spike again.
Well, in the UK, they're,
Well, they're going in. I think Ireland went on lockdown yesterday, and the UK's going on lockdown tomorrow.
Well, I reckon at least 30 to 40% of the population
Sorry, when I said
in the UK.
UK, I meant to say like England.
Yeah, I reckon they'll get COVID, but it's more a case of everyone is pushing around the term herd immunity. Now,
idiots. Herd immunity only works if a large portion of the population have the vaccine or have been exposed to the virus.
Exactly, but if you don't, surprise, you're not going to be that good.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, do you want to go through the 2 stories you wanted to talk about first, or the quiz first?
Let's do the quiz first.
Okie dokie do. This one I found specifically for you.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so which fictional black cat matches your personality? I hope I get Schrodinger. Okay, pick a witch.
I'm hoping I get Salem.
Yeah, pick a witch to hang out with. You've got Yzma. You've got Mary.
How's Mary Poppins a bloody witch?
I know, right? Mary fucking Poppins,
That sure reminds me of that TikTok where it's like her sister was a witch.
Yeah, maybe
was a wicked witch of the West.
Yeah, Oz.
Yeah, hold on. TikTok.
And then we've got Kiki.
Hold on. Oh, you continue on.
And then Luna Lovegood. Lovegood. Yeah, there you go.
Luna Lovegood, maybe.
Just...
Here, I'll play it for you right now. Hang on. 2 seconds.
Here we go.
Hold on. Her sister was a witch, right? And what was her sister? A princess. The wicked witch of the East, bro.
That one.
Will Ferrell cracks me up.
No, it's not Will Ferrell. It's 2 guys.
It sounds like Will Ferrell,
I
though.
know, but it's not Will Ferrell. All right.
I'm
going to go for... Oh, shit, dude. Mary would be too strict. Yzma would make me fear for my life every second of the day. I'm going to go Luna.
See, I'm tossing up between Kiki and Yzma because being a scientist, Yzma's freaking crazy.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm going Yzma. The smile. Okay, pick a cat activity. Now, I'm surprised it just doesn't say sleeping, and sleeping. Like, 1, there's sleeping, 2, bathing, 3, eating, and 4, general mischief.
I'm going to do general mischief.
Oh, jeez, there's a big toss-up between sleeping and general... I think I'm going to go general mischief. Then we have pick some food to steal from a human. So we've got bread, chicken, fish, cheese. It's always chicken.
It's got to be chicken.
It's gotta be
I'm
chicken.
sad for Moz because they don't have popcorn on there.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to talk about Moz's tuna diaries?
Ah, fucking tuna diaries. Oh my god.
See, she hasn't recognised the sound of the can
No.
opening yet
No.
because we don't feed them like canned food.
No.
But she smells it like a minute after you've opened it.
And goes mental.
Literally drooling on the floor.
And see, here's the thing. Some people say the pet food tuna isn't as good as like
they always
the
have
human.
outbreaks, and contamination.
However, whenever we fed them just tin out of a human tin,
not much, obviously.
Not
just
much.
A
No dramas.
bit,
no problems whatsoever. Okay, so what sounds most like you? Losing an important item, getting caught doing something embarrassing, getting stuck in traffic, forgetting an ingredient in a recipe.
Normally, in real life, getting stuck in traffic.
In real life, probably getting caught doing something embarrassing.
Or losing an important item.
Yeah, probably that. So I'm going to go for getting caught doing something embarrassing. Okay, finally. Why would a witch turn you into a cat? Okay, I snuck into a house? Probably not. I broke something of hers? Probably not. I told a rude joke about her? Probably not. I stole something from her? Probably not. I'd say I accidentally broke something.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that one too,
Yeah.
because I can see myself sneaking into someone's house.
Funny.
Who did you get?
Guess who I got?
Salem.
Yeah, I got
Oh
Salem.
no, what does it say?
You're Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. You're witty, ambitious, mischievous, and want to take over the world. Despite your sarcastic attitude, you care deeply about your friends. Evil
I
laughter.
got Kiki from Animal Crossing. I'm friendly, sweet, and motherly. You get along well with everyone and enjoy relaxing. I literally said I was here to fuck shit up, not sleep, but it is what it is.
And here's me like acting like a complete retard. And I'm Salem. Just saying though, looking at Salem from the original series compared to the new series, they just
It didn't capture his life.
no. If they honestly had.
I get what you mean, but I think they also wanted to take the more adulty, darker.
If it had been a dark turn, like really dark humor, like real sort of no, you probably shouldn't go that way. Let's hijack a van kind of thing. You know.
Are they still making Sabrina? We didn't even finish
cancelled it.
season 1. Oh shit! Really?
Yep, they cancelled it. You know.
Did it go downhill?
They just cancelled it. Salem's hilarious.
Did they really?
Yeah, they
No,
cancelled
they're
it.
still going.
No, but it's the final series. They've cancelled it.
Season.
Yep.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Not that we watched it, but
No.
it is what it is. Fair enough.
I'm just trying to remember, what was the other one where it's like based around Salem, but they've got like the warrior witches. Fort Salem.
Yes,
Yeah,
Fort Salem. Motherland, Fort Salem.
Yeah.
Good series. I don't know when season 2 is coming out.
Yeah.
Alrighty. We had a comment on one of our YouTube re-uploads.
We like these.
Yes. This is on the episode number 41, Urban Legend Goody Cole.
Ooh.
And CC said, I would venture that she was mistreated by her fellow colonists due to her hard life and elderly status. A widowed woman in New Hampshire in 1660s would certainly have had a hard life, especially in her 70s. She was convicted of a spiritual crime, witchcraft, and cruelty treated by being imprisoned. Could you imagine what the condition of a 1660s jail is in the colonies?
Honestly, that comment right there, picture the
Yeah.
1660s.
You know what? I can't. I know it existed, but I can't fathom what it must have been like. Do you know what I mean?
It would have been a box, and also with the weather, they would have had...
Literally, what, a hole in the ground,
that's
literally, like they did. And, you know, how they... it was like bluestone or the rocks.
It would have been...
And that's it, a grate on the top. And just toss some mouldy food down to her, and that's it.
And see, looking at it, and even if you go back and actually see some of the pictures from even... I suppose rubble and stuff that is left, the whole penal colony thing and Department of Corrections was nothing like it is today.
Because that was before the separation of church and state.
Yeah, and oh boy.
And then Sixie continues on saying, surely if the church had treated her as Christ would have, with love and compassion, it would have been a different ending for her. Yes, thank you, exactly. And that's the thing, is that a lot of these Bible bashers, even to this day, they think that their way is the highway and they're doing it for the good of God. And it's like, really? You think condemning people?
And see, here's the thing. I suppose...
If you're a murderer, an actual murderer...
Codes of law have changed over the millennia.
Well, we spoke about the witch trials.
Yeah.
And remember how it was more... Witchcraft was a higher crime than murder.
Yeah. And...
Blasphemy was a higher crime than murder.
And just to put this into perspective, people, the Babylonian and Sumerian, I suppose, times, are actually the earliest known form of code regarding punishments and everything was known as the Code of Hammurabi. And this was between 1728 to 1686 BC. And this guy was, well... Hammurabi basically ruled Babylon around 1700 BC. So, you know, that's about what, 3,800 years? 3,900 years around that? So probably about 3,800 years. So you look at that and, you know, how it all stems even out from like Roman times as well. And I suppose, I mean, you look at the penal colonies now, not many of them, but it was more like long-term imprisonment. You look at convicts going from, you know, Britain to Australia, those times.
But they took what quote-unquote prisoners and used them to do the dirty work.
Yeah.
And it's like Lord of the Flies, but obviously real life, and you just punish them for whatever the hell you feel like.
But you look at it and go, they drop them off on an island, there's pretty much hardly anything, and got to build from scratch. these,
make a settlement and stuff.
you know,
Yeah.
like similar to,
Well, that's the thing with the British, is the British had boats.
yeah.
They could just go
And
wherever
these
the hell they
hulks,
wanted.
and a lot of people actually died on these hulks because obviously they're just cramming, you know, hundreds of people.
And no food. There's rats, and you just go. It's not like they're and scurvy. Like, how many months, weeks would they have been at sea?
Months. And it's not no, you know, Spirit of Tasmania or Queen Elizabeth
Not that those
II.
are any good, but
It
compared
would
to then,
be
obviously.
shocking conditions. Shocking. You know? And you look at, like, literally, you look at some of the transcripts of what people have described from that time. Being in one of those jails would be horrible. Literally, rat infested, dank, plague.
Oh, think of like the pneumonia.
Oh, and see, pneumonia would, you know.
That'd kill you before, and the scurvy and
And they don't
everything.
care. You'd
Yeah.
be beaten. You'd be put to labour. You know. Geez.
But anyway, apparently it took the first fleet 252 days to get here,
That's a decent hike.
covering over 24,000 kilometres.
Imagine being in
That's almost as long as we've been in lockdown.
literally. Imagine being
Not
in
that
a,
I'm comparing that to that. I'm just having it.
Imagine being in a boat that long.
My grandmother, like maternal grandmother, came, and like grandparents. Actually, I think all of them came in boats. To be honest. But my grandmother, like, she gets seasick, and she was like, that was the worst experience of my life. She couldn't, like, leave her room. She had a porthole in her room, and like me, she can see, like, the angle of what the sea looks like. She goes, I was just sick. It was just I could only leave the room to go throw up.
Shocking.
Alrighty, you've got some news you want to talk to, 3 articles you wanted to discuss, so take it away.
So where do we begin?
War History Online. Navy unveils a new 650 round ammo backpack named the Avenger.
Yeah, so I was looking at this, and obviously we've been playing a shit ton, an absolute shit ton of Call of Duty, but the American military has decided, okay, cool. We tested ammo backpack back in like Vietnam and everything, but the thing was, it was too expensive to run the ammunition. It was essentially like $4 to $5 grand to fill a pack and then go.
Oh, so it's the ammunition that
The
costs
ammunition,
more money.
but
Gotcha.
also the weight. So
How much, how many rounds is in that bag? 50 round belt.
it's a 150
That's just
extra.
650
Yes,
rounds.
650 round.
How much?
It's about
Obviously, it depends on the caliber.
an interesting thing too. It was actually based off the Predator film.
Oh, Jesus. Hollywood strikes again.
Yeah, but you actually look at this thing and the weight.
Oh, apparently it's already on Google.
Yeah. It's effectively what, about $300 American to
I
make.
thought we were talking about weight, as in
No, it's
grams, kilograms, not weight as in money.
it's like what? How many pounds do they have it in? Because American likes to use pounds for some reason. It's trying to find it now. Here I
By
am.
the way, that's heavy. Does it say what caliber?
I think it's like 6.4. I will tell you in a second. But it's freaking badass. You know, I want one.
Yeah. Oh, it's for an MK48 machine gun, bro. That's heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy.
So, yeah, it's supposedly in talks to replace the current mechanism. So essentially, back in 2011, but
All right, question though. What happens if the gunner takes a round to the back
see, that's the
or
thing.
through the chest?
If you were to get hit with an incendiary round, boom, you'd basically just explode. But it would depend on how the ammo is stowed. But essentially,
That doesn't look like it's stowed on anything, dude. It's just like packed in a bag.
yeah, just walking around.
Look at it.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
not safe at all.
And obviously, if he's going to cop around near his head,
You're gone. It's
you're
over.
gone. But it's basically just, a belt fed light machine gun,
Okay.
essentially.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So and a Mark
It's
48.
got a jam. Like, there's no bloody way in how someone's going to be running around with that shit. Like, imagine the lint that would get in there and it gets stuck
It actually
on the
used to.
feed.
Oh, it would. Like, you'd want to know. You want to make
Like,
sure.
how many rounds can you get? I can't remember. I used to know this. I read this in War by Sebastian Junger. There's a certain amount of rounds.
Before it
an
heats.
MK48 can let off a minute before the barrel melts.
Let's find this out.
I don't have... That's like the one book I don't have.
Yeah.
I borrowed it from a lot
At
of
what
barrels.
point does
I think it's like... I can't remember how many. I know it exists. I know I'm not talking
LMG
smash.
barrel round?
It was in War by Sebastian Junger. But...
So, yeah, I reckon it'd be non-stop for about, 1,000 rounds, right?
I don't know, bro. I'll tell you what. I'll find the book. I'll buy it. I'll read it. And I'll get back to you. Sherlock agrees.
Well, I'd say anywhere between 500 to 1,000 rounds would melt your barrel. That's my guess. And essentially...
You know, to get a book in today's day and age, it's $20.65 to get it in paperback, whereas it's half that price to get it on Kindle.
Yeah. So
And
the
it's
thing
just
is,
paperback.
it'd be easier to get, ammunition, like live ammunition, than actually get a book.
We don't live in America.
Yeah. So most people say that similar to like an M249 saw, and that's an LMG just for people wondering, it'll expend about 200 rounds in a drum mag. The gunners will usually carry about 2 barrels, so you could hypothetically put 800 to 1,000 rounds through it before it starts overheating.
But that's if you don't get germs too, and you got to keep that shit oiled.
Yeah, unlike the M2, which is a heavy machine gun, it doesn't require a barrel change. So yeah, it's lucky. But even assault rifles, after about 100 rounds, they will actually overheat and will start having issues with the way they function, jamming, all that sort of stuff.
Well, even the what did they mount on the back of the Humvees? Was it a 50 cal?
Yeah, it's a 50 cal.
Even then, they would in the desert with dirt and shit, and they didn't have the logistics to get the Marine One, like the reconnaissance units, the gel, the lubricant that you need to keep that shit going.
Yeah.
So you would be in a firefight running through a town, and not that I'm saying they should have been there to begin with, but the point being is they would need to rely on that, and they just couldn't use it. It'd jam.
But also too, you can get through a 200 round M249 drum in 20 seconds. So it's more a case of seeing this thing operational. By the time you actually expend the rounds, if you will literally just go, there's 650. So what you can picture is, okay, we're going to put suppressive fire onto a position. Someone will pop up with one of these little Avenger packs and just lay down cover fire. And I mean, even if you're literally sitting on top of a Humvee or an Oshkosh and you're sitting there and you're belting out 650 rounds, you are mobile, but that's essentially,
What the fudge do you need?
600.
Where are you going in the world?
You are going into a very, okay.
These are forward operating bases. You need it to just gun down anyone coming up the hill.
I mean, imagine this, Mogadishu, for instance, the whole Black Hawk Down situation where they're, instead of sitting inside the chopper with a pistol and maybe, it's literally, you got a 650 round clip. Pop your head out the window, go nuts.
All I'm hearing from this is jamming.
Jamming. So how do you make it efficiently not able to jam?
And this is also, if you're out in the field, which is the reason why you're carrying this ammunition, dude. Like, come on. Like, looking at the picture of the guy who's wearing it, unidentified dude, here, holding the weapon. Also, how much of a fucking badass is this mother fudger to be holding an LMG as if it's nothing?
But also, too, look at these exosuits that they're coming out with to
No,
actually hold extra
I don't
weight.
believe shit until they actually put one out.
Oh, no. You know how how you see people who can use those things on the back of their legs for seats?
They've been making exosuits for, what do you call it? They won't even give them to their to the wounded soldiers.
Yeah.
Let alone anyone else.
So,
all right, next topic. Let's get this show on the road.
party started.
Something about a lake beneath the pyramids you were talking about.
Yeah, so essentially there is a lake underneath the Pyramid of Giza.
The Great Pyramid of Giza.
The Great, or Khufu.
Yes.
Khufu.
No, don't be rude.
I'm not being rude.
Don't be an ignorant white bitch.
That's me. Oh, yeah. So, essentially, these people...
So basically, the water table has risen over time and gone up the shaft.
Literally.
Of the burial chambers.
Yeah. But the thing is, they looked at this tomb that is sitting underneath the actual pyramid, and at the very bottom of it, there is a lake. It's like a crystal lake, sort of. But there's an actual sarcophagus that is in the lake, entombed in the lake, and they can't get it out. So, essentially, it's called the resting chamber of the favoured ones. And these are the guardians
supposed to be a gift of Osiris.
Tend the high priests. So, essentially, looking at photos of it, there's this shaft with this ladder or two ladders, and it's just... Yeah.
Some reconstruction, like there's a video on it.
Yeah.
It looks real cool, though.
So essentially, according to Herodotus, ancient Egyptian priests spoke of a long-held tradition of creating an underground chamber or chambers of the ancient Memphis original builders of, in Egypt and stuff. So essentially, in 1993, they did a survey at Giza, and they found these large cavities, so they wanted to explore them. So sure enough, they went down and had a Giza, and found that underneath the causeway, there's a way of passing under the causeway from the Cheops pyramid to the pyramid of Khephren, and then this is where they unearthed a series of shafts that lead down more than 125 feet into like a little sort of roomy sort of burial site.
Yeah.
And in the actual site, there's a granite sarcophagi that was found in one of the chambers, and the lid's sort of been, moved. So I'm assuming it's already been tomb robbed or whatever. But the last one is essentially they tried draining the water, and essentially they couldn't. They spent 4 years trying to Dr. Salim Hassan. 4 years trying to get the water out, but essentially the water table had just kept rising higher and higher. So now there's a flooded chamber with a sarcophagi in it, and essentially it's just mysterious, but it's like crystal clear. But there's also construction debris. So there's like a little kind of...
So as they
ramp.
were building, stuff sort of fell in.
Yeah. So obviously they were taking samples and stuff, but it's more a case of...
I wonder how the water would have affected dating those samples.
Yeah. Well, also here's the thing though. Considering the water table now, I'm thinking the pyramid, perhaps, that was part of the whole deal. That's why they built it there. Maybe it was built to cover it all up. Who knows? So...
Also, I thought the purpose of mummification was to dehydrate and embalm the body. So why would they put it in water?
Or maybe they were putting something so they could, in the afterlife, they could use the River Nile to travel.
Fair enough. That makes a lot of sense. Righty, hoity-toity then. Anything else you want to get onto?
No, I'm all good.
Okay. Are you sure? Like I'm looking at you in case you've got something else to say.
No, the only thing that I was going to
do okay,
is... No. Like, the only thing that everyone is sort of used to me doing now on this podcast is just complaining about Call of Duty, so I don't feel like doing that. So, yeah, we can just carry on.
Please continue. I'll give you 5 minutes.
Okay, we were playing I was playing Warzone the other night, and you were watching me snipe this guy out of a chopper. And the point at which you saw him cartwheel out of the chopper and land into the ground and not die, you were like, you just shot that guy. He literally cartwheeled.
I think we have bigger fish to fry. Settle down, gather around the campfire, children, and let's talk about our Cold War beta weekend experience. So I pre-ordered Cold War as soon as you were able to. And so I would like to say that it's PS4 exclusive, and they had like 2 weekends worth of the gameplay. And then it was released to everyone who had pre-ordered, and then the next couple of days it was open for free to anyone to play it, right? And so we spent a fair chunk of time getting to at the end of the beta, the level cap was 40. So got to 40. Spent a lot of time trying to unlock shit. And I stopped playing, I think, Friday?
Yeah.
Or Saturday. Because I thought to myself, what? I'm just going to continue on with finishing off the last season of Modern Warfare. But it was the clunkiest, most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. It played worse than anything. It was like a broken down CSGO build.
It was terrible. Texture was broken. ADS was terrible. Weapons were just
clunky as shit, and we spent hours playing this game to unlock attachments and scopes and stuff and the wild cards, only for 48 hours later everyone to get it because they were bitching about it and wanted to trial. And it's like, so what was the point? And allegedly we don't get to keep our leveling up anymore anyway. So as soon as I found out that everyone got it on no merit, what was the point?
And see, that's the thing. Everyone else was like, oh, cool, you can get, work hard, unlock this blueprint, do this, do that, do this.
We got to level 10, but it didn't tell you unlocked anything.
And then everyone just had a good old bitch and whinge about it. And then so they went, oh, okay, so which negated it all. So what was the point?
Yeah.
And it literally makes me think, is it worth getting my money back for it?
You're gonna play it because that's what everyone's gonna move to.
It's...
Alright, let's move on to this Haunting of Verdansk thing.
Okay, let's do it.
They could have done... I saw Hammy's post after I played. So anything, if you play any Warzone, it's there.
Yep.
Like you don't have to play BR to get it, or the Zombies mode. You can play it on Plunder and stuff if you want more chill, laid back. You have to go to search, so they've got 14 things you can unlock as part of the trick or treat thing. And you have to go to the 14 regions of the map to get it.
Okay.
So that's going to be annoying. And I saw his tweet today, and he's like, they wasted so many opportunities. Like, you could have had specific kill streaks for Halloween and a ton of other stuff.
Pumpkin grenades. But they don't care. They're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They don't care.
And like you said to me the other day, if they banned all the cheaters, what would be left?
Nothing. People say, only 5%.
Oh my god, and that's what I wanted to talk about. Already people are hacking on Cold War.
Yeah. So, you start really looking into it, and there is so much software out there, so much hardware that is completely undetectable. There are, more than 5 to 20% people cheating. It is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And the thing is, some of this software is completely untrackable. You cannot track it. That is how good it is.
You can't track that, but you can track the people using it in terms of, like, if they're streaming and stuff. I don't know. But at the end of the day, they're making money regardless.
Exactly.
They don't care about who's on top of the leaderboard.
They
don't care about, like, you're going to have, as long as they think that the more people playing, the more numbers they have, the more people clocking up big game hours,
and see,
the more Twitch activity they have, to them they see there's a success.
And see, that's the thing. The more it's all about
time,
money, because if people are playing Modern Warfare, they're not playing something else. the more traffic towards that particular game,
The better it is for
the better
them.
it is. So, sure, you can do ban waves of 50,000 players.
But why would you?
There's millions of people playing.
So yes, thank you for the very quick rundown.
Yes.
Our plan was to go when restrictions lift, but A, restrictions haven't lifted, and B, the app isn't working.
No. No, it's
So
not.
our plan was to make a day trip of it, and I'm not going to get out of the car because I wouldn't feel safe getting out of the car. And I specifically bought a massive, like the biggest, the best power bank to charge your phone that money can buy you because I don't want to lose. I don't want to get lost and die because Michael has this terrible habit of going on a fucking road trip and being too scared that the audiobook's going to lose its position.
Oh,
so you
yeah.
can't charge your phone in the car. So you have to take and carry your laptop to charge your phone. And I don't want to do that. And this power bank carries like enough for 6 smartphones to be recharged.
Yep.
So I did that because I don't want to die and get lost and then die. So from what I will say is I've noticed that the app goes down a lot. So my plan, and I've been saying this, I kept putting this episode off for a literal month. The plan was to type in everything, get the locations, screenshot them and whatnot. But we'll keep you guys updated and let we know how we went and what we manifested. So first off, I'm just going to read to you from the website itself because there's a fair bit to unpack. But please feel free to interrupt and ask questions or bring stuff up. So if you go to Randonautica, their home website, they say that it's the world's first quantumly generated choose-your-own-adventure reality game. Explore the world you never knew existed.
Ooh.
So people are saying that while they're out doing this stuff, not only are they coming across stuff that gives them what they manifested, takes them to a place that has something there that they manifested, where they see something they manifested. But people are also claiming that they're seeing evidence of the simulation theory and glitches in the matrix and things like that. So they say, quantumly random. The Randonautica app puts the user in the director's chair of an adventure story yet to be written. By using the app, the user can break from their mundane day-to-day and take a journey of randomness into the world around them. This sounds like such weird, like if Ishka came up with an app and had to write a website about it. This is what Ishka would write.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We have a lot of beef
We
with
do.
Ishka.
Fucking shit.
Mind matter, mind matters. Your mind is your guide as you observe and view the world differently. Travelling into the unknown is a journey like no other. A whole new world. Break out of your reality tunnel. Listen to this one. Recalibrate your mind.
Yeah.
And have fun on an adventure. How many times are they going to say the word adventure? Into the world you never knew existed. Welcome, future Randonaut. The Randonautica app was created to encourage users to venture outside of... And then they just say the same shit over and over again, right? Like, it was created so that the users can venture out of their day-to-day routine and use a quantum random number generator to derive a coordinate to journey to. And that the app was developed by a global movement, the Randonauts. And the phenomenon has taken the world by storm. And that there are millions of Randonauts exploring their surroundings in nearly every country. And this shit took off because of COVID. So apparently the app that is now... You can get it on Android. That latest beta is available, but the one on iPhone has been shut down. So of both... Back when, I guess, the iPhone beta was still running, they had over 18 million downloads of the app around the world.
And it makes me wonder, this would be the greatest tracking software.
They say it's not, but we'll get into that too. Apparently, it was doing so well that it became number 1 in the travel app category, number 1 in adventure, number 1 in simulation game categories on app stores. It was trending in every country, and so it is a big thing. Every few days I check to see if it's working, and I go on the subreddit. And people are actually mad that they can't use the official app and that they're stuck with off-brand apps. So people, especially here in Australia, like people are going mental.
Just, I don't know. People can literally make this stuff up themselves. Okay, guys, let's go do this. Let's go look at something. It's like, you're using an app to have an excuse to go outside and look for something random.
No, the thing that freaks people out is the alleged power of manifestation.
Okay, I will manifest a cheeseburger and 4 $100 notes.
See, you can't tell us what it is. You've got to think about it
Right.
when we're generating the values.
Okay. But so far, every time we've tried it, I've thought about these.
All right, but seriously, what would you do if you thought about cheeseburger and fries? You put in the coordinates, we plug them into Google Maps, and it takes you to a McDonald's.
But see, that would just be, happenstance.
Okay, so then what if we generated a chain and we asked the generator to give us 10 locations instead of, you would think cheeseburgers. Say that I thought something like Sunshine.
Gun range. Bookstore. Great wheel of cheese. World's largest bucket of popcorn.
I'm committing a murder today.
Did you say murder?
No, that's not what we're manifesting. No, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. All right. So their definition of randonauting is the act of using the Randonautica app, specifically the Randonautica app, to generate truly random locations sourced with quantum entropy.
Quantum entropy.
Entropy. Beautiful. The user can then choose to venture to these locations to see what they find. They often discover what they see lines up with their intention, which is what they're thinking about when they generated the point. But even if this doesn't happen, it's a way to mindfully explore the world around them. There are two main parts to randonauting: exploring blind spots or places nearby that are outside of your conscious awareness, and experimenting with mind-matter interaction. The hypothesis that consciousness can influence the distribution of random numbers. I'm not going to get into confirmation bias just yet.
Oh,
but
we love confirmation bias.
But we're going to get into it eventually. Man, I don't know. And they're like, why do people randonaut? Have a fun and meaningful adventure. And again, break out of your regular routine. And listen to this one. Increase attention, awareness, and learning ability.
See, back in my day, this would be
You went to school.
This would be going...
to the library.
Oh, look, we got a map. Oh, wow, we got us a compass. Wow, this is before geocaching, but hey, let's go out in the wilderness and not get fucking lost for a week. There you go.
Calm down, scout leader.
Now let's use an app that generates a random GPS location to somewhere in the middle we haven't been before and go check it out. Woo! Donut shop, then police station. Done.
Jesus Christ.
What?
I'm just saying.
They work hard. They can have some donuts.
I wasn't having a go at the police officers wanting donuts, but all I'm saying is the crispy screams.
Crispy screams.
Don't have anything different than what they normally did last year. It's still the spiderweb, the scully donut, the mummy, but they have a graveyard cream shake, which I've never had before. So I'm considering going if it's within the 25. I'm fairly certain it would be, to be honest.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
what do you do?
as if it's not deliverable. As if.
Why isn't
In
it
this
deliverable?
day and age, I feel disgusted.
Disgusted.
You can shop online.
Yes, it's pretty
Oh
much
my
all we've been doing for the
God.
last 6 months. Shopping online. Literally.
Oh my, listen to this. They're not even going to do it on the 31st. They're finishing on Friday the 30th of October. How devastating is that?
Dumb. Why wouldn't they just continue?
Because Halloween Day is on the 31st, right?
Yeah.
How stupid is that? Also, Spooktober emailed me to tell me that they weren't Spooktobering this year. And I was like, yeah, I kind of already knew that, but I'm still slightly devastated.
Yeah.
Not that I would have gone because people, germs, fomites, but still. Anyway. Have a of water.
Sip of water.
So, how do you get these GPS coordinates, you may ask? Allegedly, they use random number generation techniques as a tool towards exploring and navigating the world around us. So they call these RNGs, right? Random number generators. And so what they do is they convert numbers with coordinates on the surface of the Earth within the kind of... You give a radius of how far out you're willing to travel, and they line it up and match it up with that. And so that's pretty much what they say. And they say that there's these things called blind spots, which would... So you technically, that GPS point to you would be a blind spot because you otherwise would not have known it existed unless the app directed you to go there.
You'd hope.
Yes. So there are 3 common types that can be generated. There's a quantum point, an attractor, and a void. Apparently the voids are the really creepy one. But first we'll talk about the... where did that just go? The quantum points. So this is a single coordinate point generated using a random number generator. So you're using quantum numbers. And pretty much they allege that they measure the electromagnetic field fluctuations of virtual particles in a vacuum, and then they say that they're using the Australian National University quantum computer to generate these numbers for them, and then the art of you thinking or manifesting. So for example, like Michael said, he wanted a cheeseburger, he would type that in or think cheeseburger, and then the computer, through the power of Michael's brain manifesting, would give him a quantum point.
Quantum cheeseburger.
To lead him to a cheeseburger. Then there's the attractor. And this is where there's a location of a lot. So it's a very dense place. There's a lot of quantum points in that area. So imagine a room full of people, right? And say that there's a lot of people in one specific corner of that room. That's an attractor point. There's a lot of activity, there's a lot of people in there. So if there's a lot of points in one specific area, that's an attractor point. It's got a lot high density of distribution.
So what happens if you put that in, but you end up at a John Deere factory, because that would be literally a tractor point?
Well, that's what they say. You're more likely to see what you want to see in an attractor point as opposed to a void.
Well, preferably if I was going to a tractor point, I'd want tractors.
Yes, you would, but I don't think that... To get to a John Deere, to rig it for you, you'd have to be very close to Altona.
Yeah. I want my tractors.
Okay, so the third is void. And this is the opposite of a tractor. So this is saying that there's a very low density of points in that area. And so you're going to something that... Apparently the voids are the really scary ones. And those are the ones where people kind of see glitches in the Matrix. But
right.
It is what it is.
Righto. See glitches in the Matrix.
Apparently people see a lot of paranormal shit in the attractor because it's a lot of high energy.
Okay then.
And then people see glitches in the Matrix with the voids. But again, I'm just telling you what I've heard.
Sounds like people should avoid this, app.
But you're not curious?
No.
You don't...
I'm playing bad cop this time.
Okay.
I'm just like, nah. Kind of dumb.
I'm not saying it's not dumb, but I think the idea of it's pretty cool.
Interesting though, but if I did in fact get a tractor with a cheeseburger, I think that'd be good. Imagine that. Or cheeseburgers tractor made from cheeseburgers.
Okay, I don't know if those exist, but sure. So, again, I can't speak to this because we haven't been able to get in the app. But apparently when you...
That's weird.
Your mother has texted me that many times that it broke through my Do Not Disturb.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm not going to read a text message, but all I'm going to say is she says to me, "Are you feeling freer?" And I'm like, I see no changes.
I see no changes. It's exactly the same. It is still the same.
Damn. All right. So allegedly, when you use the actual legitimate Randonautica app, what's supposed to happen is they give you a ton of values. So they'll tell you the type of point it's generated, whether it's pseudo, which means a single point, a quantum single random point, an attractor, so you're in a dense cluster of quantum random points, or a void, which is a low density. Then they give you a radius in meters, and this is like the area around your current location. And you can, from memory, I think you can make it 1,000 meters, 5,000 meters, 10,000 meters, but those are just screenshots I've seen. I haven't actually been able to use the app myself. And then it gives you a power, and the power is a ratio between the density of the quantum point distribution within the area of the attractor or void and the density of the quantum point field as a whole in that radius, I believe.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a way to gauge how dense the clustering of points making up the attractor or the void is, or how out of the ordinary that location will be for you when you compare it to other things. Then there's the Z-score. I'm kind of annoyed that they use a Z-score because that's actually a term of reference when you do bioinformatics. But apparently, in their terms, a Z-score is used to compare the improbability of voids and attractors in a way where they can be compared with each other. So voids will always have a negative score and attractors will always have a positive one. And then they spoke about the differences between random number generators as a source of computing entropy. Apparently, they use... if you use the actual legitimate Randonautica app, there are three methods of... There are three different types of RNGs. There's the Australian National University's quantum computer that I've already spoken about, that uses fluctuations in magnetic field of virtual particles in a vacuum. And that's the one that the app uses by default. And then you can also choose the temporal RNG. And this effect is based on a processor time cycle. So the temporal uses differences in CPU command execution as a time source of random noise. And this difference stems from a multitude of factors, including like electronics, transistors, and things like that. And then there's the CAM RNG based on thermal noise, and it's generated by like a photomatrix detector of your smartphone camera, and it's believed that noises are also affected by quantum effects.
Ooh, we love quantum effects.
Do you think they actually know what the word... Look, I know what the word quantum is because I had to do chemistry. I have no plans on reliving that experience. I did well enough on the exam, and then I shut that book away, and I left it
I don't
there.
think a lot of these people understand what a quantum anomaly is. Just,
Chemists
yeah.
don't understand what a quantum anomaly is. But it is what it is.
It's just
I'm
one of
not
those
going to
funny
say... Shit, dude. At the end of the day, if it's fun... and it gets people out of the house, and you're doing shit safely, why the hell not?
And
right?
Just in case people do want to know what, a quantum anomaly is, it's basically just, the failure of symmetry of a theory's classical action to be a symmetry of any regularization of the full quantum theory. So there you go.
It's a theory about a theory.
Yeah.
Numbers based on a theory, and everything else is a theory. So that's the point. All right, so basically... you have to manifest something, i.e. you have to set an intention. So Mark would sit there and think about cheeseburgers.
Yeah, I would.
I would sit there and think about
Tractors.
Krispy Kreme donuts.
And tractors.
And so apparently you can enter your intention into the app, but apparently you don't necessarily have to do that again. Can't access the app, so I wouldn't know what to tell you. Listen to this. It is recommended to think about something positive, since the system does not have protection against the implementation of negative intentions.
Oh, what? So if I thought about a vaccine for COVID, it wouldn't send me anywhere?
Listen, you laugh, but people are out there setting the intention of death.
Yeah.
People are out there setting the intention of Illuminati and cult and other weird shit. I'm not saying that all of them are legitimate. I'm not saying that this is legitimate at all. I'm just saying to you, mate, if you're going to an abandoned freaking farmhouse that has been abandoned since the 1900s, no one knows who owns the land, and no one's been on that property for years, and you're technically trespassing, what do you think you're going to find? That would be scary in itself.
It'd be interesting.
Right.
But, yeah, bogus.
It's all about...
Bum-bum.
I don't know. But it is what it is. Again, I'm not going to hate on it. I like the idea of it. The execution is shit. Obviously, the app's not
Shit
working.
execution, and also, you know, yeah. I don't think it's all that. It's more
I'm not in no way, shape, or form am I saying this is legitimate, right? We're gonna get into the confirmation bias. That's what I think this is, right?
Yeah.
Case in point, right? Look at this bookshelf right next to me. If I said to you that every single book on this bookshelf was red, you'd be like, shit, Steph, there are 60 books on this shelf that are red, right?
Well, technically, yeah, they would be red.
That are red.
Yeah,
right?
They would be red.
You'd be like, that's red, that's red, that's red, that's red, that's got red on it, that's got red on it.
And that's
now let me
also been
flip
red.
it. Michael, all the books on my shelf have the shade black on it.
Wow, yeah.
That's all you'd see.
Yeah.
Right? Because your brain is primed to expect that.
Yeah, but
But we're going to get there.
anomalies.
So then there's the chain, and that's what we spoke about before. So you can select if you want to have 1, 5, or 10 quantum points. And the idea with a chain is that you'd start with 1, then you go to 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth.
But what about if your name was Django? Then you would be Django Unchained.
So the idea is that as you work your way down the chain, the energy, the manifestation gets stronger each time.
Pyramid scheme anomaly detected. Pyramid scheme anomaly detected. Thank you for laughing. I appreciate that. Thank you. That person is very nice. I like that person.
And then they say, practice shows the significant result is often achieved by the third point.
Well, you make a point. It just seems funny. Like, if it's purely just RNG, essentially all you're doing is you're just punching in random facts, and then an RNG is going to spit out a coordinate.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
it's just
it.
a randomizer.
Yeah, that's it. Wow.
And then people were asking, do these anomalies have an expiration date? And then they say, theoretically, no. You've just got yourself a set of coordinates. Technically, that set of coordinates will always be there. The thing on the coordinates may change, but ideally, the anomalies shouldn't have an expiration date.
But they would.
Well, say that, like, some people were saying that we'll get into it later, but there was this one where the girl and her friend were out, and she was like, she set the intention of finding her mum's lost dog.
Yeah.
And so they went that night, like, they were in the car, they went out, drove to the middle of nowhere, set the intention, got the point, drove there immediately, and they were out in, like, the middle of a desert, and then there was a dog there.
Okay, coincidence, because, you know...
I'm not saying it's not a coincidence.
Prairie dogs.
I'm just saying to you, in some retrospect, like that, yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying. And then this is where I kind of had questions, and I was like, will my anxiety affect my intentions?
Possibly.
For example, can you self-sabotage? Like,
yes.
Can you sit there and I'll be thinking, oh my God, butterflies and books, and then the evil part of my brain will be like, but you could go there, pick up a book and die. Someone would be there and kill you, right?
Wow,
so you'd
dark.
self-sabotage yourself, right? When you're manifesting. And listen to this. Every thought can potentially affect your intention. So avoid expecting bad things to happen. Thank you. If
Wow.
only someone gave me that advice decades ago.
Wow.
Maybe I could have avoided this whole anxiety. No fucking shit. You're
Wow.
so stupid, Randonautica. How rude. And listen to this. If you're too anxious and constantly thinking about bad things, try to distract yourself from negative thoughts. Meditate or detach yourself using other methods. Or delay your trip for a while until you're feeling better. I'm sorry, have you not heard of crippling depression?
Wow. So, here's the thing. Do cryptids get crippling depression? That's a good point. That's a good question, isn't it?
Maybe you have to have crippling depression to have some of those things.
What?
For example, look at the Winnebagos.
Winnebagos. And also, like, look at Mothman. Was just, you know, maybe...
For all we know...
We watched a lighthouse thing the other day where sort of three people vanished on a lighthouse. Maybe
Oh,
it's because
BuzzFeed Unfold's first episode of the season.
Mothman went to
Oh
the
my
lighthouse.
God, I lost my straw!
You lost your straw.
Fixed it.
Quick. Better open up Randonautica to find a new one. Oh, it's in the drawer. Oh, jeez. I didn't know that would be there. That was
Quick question.
random.
with coordinates, it's within a meter, isn't it? When you get a GPS, it's within a meter.
Yes, within a meter. So what happens if the GPS reading is literally in like a meter, like in a meter box? It's in a meter within a meter.
I don't know, dude.
It's like, I got myself a 3-foot meter ladder.
I don't know what to tell you, Michael. All right. But anyway, I think that they need to take a health course or a mental health course because they're absolutely
Dumb.
kind of off the chain a little bit for me. All right. And then they had another FAQ and it's like, how can you know that a positive result is not a case of confirmation bias? And as an actual trained scientist, I was very down for this answer, right? I was waiting for this. You ready?
Yeah.
It is likely that some of the coincidences we observe are the result of confirmation bias. The user may well exaggerate the subjective significance of the find, as they are hoping for a positive result. However, some of the coincidences we observe have incredible accuracy in terms of translating the user's intentions, which suggests that some of the findings are more likely to be the result of the actual experience rather than confirmation bias.
We love confirmation bias.
And then they're like, the user does not know which point he received. Its type is unknown only to the system. Therefore, later comparing reports at such points, we hope to be able to determine what proportion of successful experiences and experiments can be attributed to confirmation bias cases. So apparently, after you do your experience, you're supposed to review it.
Reviewing. Yeah. Yeah, well, I suppose
I rate this 4 out of 5.
they can say they have peer reviewed. Well, I love my coordinates. They were very random.
Yeah, and then they send
2
the
out
next
of 5.
people.
The review. I asked for water, sent me to a lake. The water was too wet. 2 out of 6.
All right, so you kind of segued into where I wanted to go next very well, actually. You do this all the time. So, literally, you couldn't have segued this any better. So, some people are given points that are in a large body of water. So, allegedly, when you do the test, you're supposed to say whether you want to travel, if you're happy to travel over water or not.
Oh, look. Oh, I'm going to travel on water. Oh, shit. I've ended up in the water. Fancy that. Wow. This has turned out into an aqua adventure. Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, look, I've lost my trident. Shit, we better go deep on this one.
Sorry, King Titan.
Fucking hell.
Anyway, so this is their advice if your point is in a large body of water, right? You could try getting as close as possible, just as with points on private property or in accessible areas. Could you imagine rocking up to Old MacDonald's farm and just be like, sorry, I'm just here to reach over your fence with my phone. Anyway. 2, if you have the equipment, the water is safe to traverse. And you have the necessary skills, you could try swimming or boating, etc. to the point.
Wow, we're spelunking.
Imagine drowning while trying to play a game of Randonautica or being eaten by a crocodile or some shit. If you live near water, you might find it frustrating to receive water points so frequently. If this is the case, you can pay a small fee to exclude water points.
What?
So apparently, this is where I went nuts and I'm like, oh my god, are they actually, how are they going to make money from this? Apparently what they've done with the Android is you have to pay money. What they're going to do is you're going to have to pay a certain amount of money monthly or annually to be able to generate points to travel.
So you think about it, if they've got 1 million people using the app
and everyone pays $1 per trip,
bang, there you go. Bank. Yeah. Daily. Wow, that's some dodgy ass bullshit.
And then people keep having problems where it sends them to private property, and a lot of people aren't lawbreakers. Not that I'm saying that, urban exploration, do what you will. I wouldn't necessarily do it myself. And they said that they don't impose restrictions on where points may generate other than the optional in-app purchase to exclude water points. The app does not know where it is generating the points, so they might be generated on private property most of the time. And can I say, like, we did that on, literally, we generated for, I think, we tried for like 2 hours trying to find points on the off-brand apps.
Yep.
And we got sent into people's backyards. We got sent into like people's shops and warehouses. And I think that the trick is you have to go into the middle of nowhere. So like we're going to have to drive an hour and a half out of the city just to see where it takes us.
Well,
and hope we don't end up on someone's farm.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
So they do have a terms and conditions, so that way, you know, they don't have liability of it. And they say that you're not given restricted, you know, you're not given their permission to trespass or go onto, you know, restricted territory or private property and so on and so forth. They just say try to get as close as possible to the point without breaking the law or invading others' privacy. And they say, don't forget the journey is often just as meaningful as the destination.
Destination unknown.
Destination.
Yeah. So, yeah. I just think it's all a big joke. And someone has gone, oh, let's figure out a way to make people get outside and do things. Now, I sort of find...
The premise is good.
The premise is good, but I feel like it was based off Pokemon. Because when you
Pokemon Go, yes.
Pokemon Go, because what do? You go outside and you go hunting for Pokemon.
I never did that, but dude, remember when we were in... I'm not going to say the place, but with your brother, and he was just whipping out his phone and he's like, turn left! And we're like, dude.
That's a fence and we're on a highway. Whoops.
Just pull over here!
Yeah, let's do a handbrake here at 100k an hour and see what happens. We didn't so much as catch a Charizard, but we fucking ended up with a Mudkip. You know, whoopsies.
Listen, I wasn't the idiot. I said to you, there's no way in hell that this residential estate doesn't have a road. Just drive 2 minutes down. And then he was adamant that no, there was no other road that had been built. And I've gone, no, you can't expect people to live there without there being an actual road and not a dirt fucking paddock.
Imagine if they put Mewtwo in Area 51.
And then you, of all people, were like, yes, in my sedan.
Yeah, let's
do it. And I've gone, yes, dude, you have a 4-wheel drive. It's fine for you. This is a sedan. And then Michael decided, no, I'm going to traverse this muddy paddock at the rate of 5 kilometers an hour. And I don't know if you guys know this, but when you're doing dumb shit like this, you got to keep up the pace.
Yeah.
You got to avoid the dips and turns. You got to avoid the rocks. Yep. I'm not saying you gun it, but you got to keep it up a little bit. Because otherwise you get bogged.
Yeah, very much bogged.
And then Rob goes, all right, let's go back. And I'm like, you dickheads, the road is there.
It's like, oh, yeah, no dramas.
It would have just taken us 10 seconds to continue driving on the road we were driving on and then turn left. But no one listens to the woman in the car.
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Also, what's a parsec? Oh, no, it's a measurement of time. I'm still bitter that we lost that.
Yeah.
Trivia night.
That was
because
bullshit.
of a woman can't know more about Star Wars.
And we had so many correct answers that they just robbed us of.
I was robbed of a jug of free lemonade. I wasn't even drinking.
And they fucking gave it to someone who was already part of the party and actually knew the people who were running the night.
Friends.
Fucking bullshit.
That's insider knowledge.
Fucking bullshit.
I bet you they were Googling on their phone.
They were.
Disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright. So back to Randonautica. They allege that the application does not collect user data and that the only data that is stored on the server is user reports and data about the generated points, but never your starting point, i.e. you could be in your house generating the locations, right? And they say that their app does not require that you use an account and they don't link it to an existing account such as Google or Facebook or whatever. Therefore, they can't determine who generated the actual point and that all the data in the system is completely anonymous.
I feel like, it's still, able to be breached. So, it's all dodgy.
I'm not denying it's dodgy. I'm just saying.
I think with the amount of tech-savvy individuals out there, it'd be very easy to hack. It's not like it's Microsoft. It's just an app. Like it says, it's all safely stowed and hidden behind firewall. Bullshit. It can be all hacked. It can all be, That's the thing, though. What's to say that all your information, when you generate, But
that's the thing. You're not putting any information in. It's giving you, yes, it has to know your location to give you the points, to give you the location and shit. But I hear what you're saying. So, bottom line, this episode is so delayed because we've been trying to get on the app for months, and they've delayed releasing it. But we couldn't delay releasing this episode anymore because we wanted to talk about it. It was actually supposed to be our first topic of Halloween. The app is not working because allegedly, so the last time I checked, and this was 24 days ago, you go on the Reddit and people were so pissed off. Apple users are so upset, but there was a point where no one could get on the app at all, a month ago, right?
Yeah.
And that was because allegedly, and this is not me saying it, this is someone who is on the Reddit forum, the Twitter, is a Twitter person, user, and they actually got a DM from Randonautica because he posted saying, pretty much what's going on. And so they allegedly told him that the techs walked away one day and they had to hire new people. And so the release of the Android beta was delayed for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And then that caused the whole iOS one to not be released it's still not released now. And then a lot of other people tried to jump in on the trend. And so if you went on the Apple Store alone, we downloaded all of them just to see what they were like. And there were at least, 5 or 6 alternative apps that you could use.
Yeah.
And so one of them is a scam, and they outright ask you to pay money, $30 a month to use it. And I was ridiculous. No, thank you. So I deleted that one. And Randonautica found out about this and we're going to take them to court and so on and so forth. And then they made other statements because people were saying, well, why is it taking you so long to get it back up? And then they came out and said, because we need a bigger server to handle the amount of traffic we're getting.
Interesting.
So that makes a lot of sense, I suppose, there. So we did use, as I said, the knockoff apps to generate some points. But again, all of them were people's backyards. It was kind of very annoying. Our plans to drive way out of town and try it there. But there is allegedly a plethora of experiences on TikTok, and you can go onto the subreddit. Again, we're not speaking to the validity of all of them. Chances are that majority of them are fake anyway. And then, so pretty much the one that made Randonautica as famous as it was a group of friends went out randonauting, and as you do, you're thinking cheeseburgers and tractors. I'm thinking books, rainbows and butterflies and Krispy Kreme donuts. They were like, hey, you know what sounds so fucking metal? Death.
And then that's all the weird shit starts happening.
So they were the people that found, unfortunately, the two bodies in the suitcase off the pier.
That was pretty shit.
They filmed it. That TikTok's still up there.
Yeah, fuck that.
There's an article. Obviously, those 2 people are murdered. That does not detract away. That shouldn't highlight the great uses of the app itself. The app shouldn't overshadow 2 people who were brutally murdered.
And put in a suitcase.
So we have some favourite TikToks. Do we want to go through those?
Sure. Do it.
All right. I have not many. Not many, if any. Not many, if any. All right. Where are we? Shit. I had them here.
There's a lot
and
there.
Now I lost them.
But,
I think I've lost them.
Yeah, it's just...
Oh, no. Here they are. Sorry, continue.
But even TikTok is essentially a platform for which everything can be tracked. So imagine
Calm down.
There's got to be some
down.
conspiracies going on.
I can't remember which ones I needed to mute and which ones I didn't, but I'm going to basically narrate this for you.
All right, going randonauting, And it took us to this shady park in the middle of nowhere, so let's see what we find.
So she's literally pulled up. It's like a one-way road. It's got asphalt on it. She's in the middle of the woods.
Trees, a bridge. I think we have to go over this bridge.
It's like a tiny bridge, like a wooden bridge that kind of goes over a little creek. It's well maintained. She's following the path. And this one's my favourite one because it's so obviously fake. And there's a woman wearing a dress from the 1800s, and she's like done up in creepy shit. And then she charges her from behind later.
Is she following us?
That one gets me every time because to me that is the spirit of Randonautica. And then there's this one, dude. Do you remember this one? This one we kind of think is real. You're not looking.
Yeah, see, I look at that.
So the other day, me and a bunch of friends decided to go explore a park that was located
And they all
nearby
use this
all of our
audio track.
houses. And in the creepy back area, we found a lot of coffins. And we got curious and opened one, and there were
As you do.
spikes inside. And it reminded me of one of those medieval Iron Maidens. And then we found this table nearby.
It's like tilt
It looks like
table.
one of those tables that you like tie people to and torture them. So, mad sketch. Maybe if you blow this up, we'll come back at night.
And so there's, you know how there's like Divic box unboxings, dark web box unboxings. Now the new trend is Randonautica box unboxings. So people are claiming that they find these chests or like, you know, metal cash boxes full of shit. And they're like, oh my God, get this to 10,000 likes in 24 hours and I'll open it for you. So those are the ones that are like really weird, yeah?
Yeah.
What else is there? I had 4... This one is my fucking favourite. Alright, this is by... Her handle is TEEPHADOLL. So, Stephfafahh, right? This one's my fucking favourite.
My boyfriend and I decided to go on a Randonautica adventure, and you guys, it gets so creepy. Do not do this alone. We ended up driving through this really weird street.
So again, they're all driving and they're taking them to forests.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to live in North America, right?
Yeah.
So they get out.
Walking a little bit.
She talks.
And also too, just while we're recording this and all the spooky music shit's going on in the
I'm gonna
background,
take the music off.
there's
How's
a chance
that?
that one of our light globes might blow because it's like slowly, it's like just flickering. So yeah.
Is that the app? Is that Randonautica coming to get us? Anyway, they're driving on this road, right? It's asphalted. They're driving through what looks like a forest or some shit. They get out of the car because it's close to their quantum point, and so they're walking, and this bitch, a queen, a fucking icon, is wearing her fucking black Crocs. An actual fucking queen. I love her so much. So she's 4x4ing it with her Crocs, right? And then there's this like really sketch. There's 2 trees, but because of the roots, there's a massive gap. So someone's put like a 2x4 across it to kind of get over it. It's like a tiny, teeny footbridge. And so she's like, fuck yeah, me and my Crocs, just gonna cross over it. So she does, and her makeup is fucking impeccable. She's a gorgeous girl. And she's like, where the fuck am I? And then so there's these clusters of trees, and then she's like, she pans to the left, and then in the middle of this grass field is this fucking thing that she described as a bird nest.
Right.
So what it is, it's like a little, apparently it's a meditation circle, but it's built up with fuck tons of branches, and it looks like the outline of which looks like a bird's nest, right? So it's not filled in the middle, it's just grass. But she was like, what the fuck is this? And people later on in the comments were like, oh, that's a prayer, like meditation circle. But that was, to me, it was fucking rude. And then there's bundles of like dead trees that they've used and put in like not packs, but they've like stacked them together like as little mounds.
Everyone brings a branch.
Yeah, and then she goes further on, and then there's like actual outlines where people would walk and shit, and it's like a meditation circle, another one with rocks, and she literally, this queen, no fucking balls. So all the fucking balls. No fucking hesitation is what I meant to say. An actual queen, no shits given. She walks through the middle of it.
Like, meh.
She's like, yeah, fuck that. I'm just going to go through and walk around. And she starts like panning over to the because it looks like a burn circle, doesn't it? Like, you know how you'd sacrifice something? Not like sacrifice an actual living thing, but you put something in there to get rid of it.
Or someone just
and
come
it's like
past and gone,
CDs
I'll
and
just
shit.
throw some shit in there and see what happens.
Okay, whatever, dude.
Keep
Keep calm, bangle and shit. And so she pans over the rest of it, and that's that one.
Yeah.
That one's my favourite out of all of them. That was the one I really wanted to get to today. And then I have one more here that we were going to go through. What was this one? Oh, this one's fucking... I can't tell if it's real or not. But regardless, this one scares me. So there's this group of like 4 friends who went out.
That's fucking crazy.
And they said, we decided to go randonauting and set our intention as fears. So everyone had a separate fear, right? And the girl who's recording said, my biggest fear is heights. And the app literally took us here. I'm creeped out. And so she zooms in on a sign. I want to make sure ATA, is Attica High?
Possibly. Most likely. Who knows? One of the mysteries of life.
To Attica High Heights, which I think is in Richfield. Wherever the hell that is. Oh, it's in the Smoky Mountains. Anyway, so it is what it is. And so that to me was pretty, like, at the end of the day, her fear was heights, and then the sign said heights on it. Like, again, I think that's a thing of confirmation bias.
Yeah, absolutely.
But regardless, in the moment, I can imagine that would be very creepy.
It would be.
You know what I mean? Because you're there and you'd be like, oh my god, shit is real, coronavirus, shit is real.
Coronavirus.
But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It's the experience, and at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm not saying I believe in the shit, I'm just saying I think it's an experience.
See, you know, if I wanted to do RNG and, like, you know, find something randomly in a field, I'd just go play COD. Because we all know that, you know, trying to find that random spot in the fucking field, I'd probably get fucking shot.
I am so disappointed because none of you wanted to go find that screaming kid bush with me north of fucking stadium. And so I missed it.
It's still there, though.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But, yeah. It is what it is. The subreddit is popping. People post on it all the time. Like, literally all day. Every day. And so, it's a creepy thing. I don't know. There's a lot of stories and shit. At the end of the day, I think... to me, it's just all confirmation bias. If you're going somewhere and expecting something creepy, you're going to think something creepy. You're not in your own environment. You're in an unknown place. You know what I mean? You're setting the intention. I don't want to use that saying. But you're setting out knowing something weird's going to happen.
Yeah. I still think it's all, you know.
Okay, all right. So say that you said that you thought of McDonald's. Worst intention ever. But say you thought of McDonald's. We went into some random freaking field 2 hours out of town, and we get to the point and there's a fire pit with the McDonald's hamburger wrapper in there. Would you be like, it's a coincidence, but it's pretty cool?
Yeah, it's like, who drove ahead of us and put that there? Just
exactly. That's what I'm saying to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just for oh shit. You're linking two things together in your own mind. It's not a cause and effect relationship. There's no direct correlation.
If you really wanted to scare yourself, you could scare yourself. That's the whole thing. It's a case of, do you have enough energy to scare yourself? Or are you just like, meh? You know. It's not like little blue orbs of light are fucking floating around. You know, little min lights chasing you. I mean, imagine that, glowing cheeseburgers chasing you around the field. That's the point where you go, something's a bit off now. Oh, look, floating cows. Talking about destroy all humans, EB Games hasn't, like, notified me anything.
It's because they're closed.
Muppets. Yeah, maybe they should fucking Randonautica their stock to us. Thank you. In appreciation. Very foreboding.
So yeah, fucking Randonautica.
So like I'm doing it right now,
Americans are fucking bored.
and
Why do they get so bored?
they're sending me to people's houses. So I think we're just in too dense a place for it to work.
Yeah.
But anyway, you got anything else to add to today's episode?
No, I just feel like the world is a silly place at the moment. Very silly. And on the bright side, you know.
Always look on the bright side of life.
Either that or just stare at a light bulb, but you know.
25. How far is 25 kilometers from your home? This is the real fucking
Well,
random.
technically, 25
right now.
kilometers from your home is what? 25,000 meters?
Hold on, 2 seconds.
Am I not correct?
Just give me 2 seconds, fam.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, I got it. I'm just looking for the freeway
Freeway.
on the thing. I'm fairly certain here
Either that or a tollway.
that it has to be within.
Possibly.
Yeah, it is. It's within, dude.
Within.
It's within the boundary.
You can do it.
So, all I'm saying to you is, if we desperately felt like a Halloween party pack,
We could get it.
we could get it.
Literally, we could get it.
I'm not saying we're gonna do it. I'm just saying we could get it.
Yeah, we could get it. Take a while to get here, but you know.
No, it's in to drive there. It's
Drive
within the
there.
25 kilometre radius.
Yeah, we can go get it.
Yeah, I'm not saying we will. I'm just having it.
Dank cookies.
They're not cookies for fuck's sake.
Donuts, dank donuts.
It from us. Yes?
Yep,
okay.
that's it.
Where can people hear us, find us?
On the internet.
If you have a specific topic you would like us to cover. Oh my god, today was our last Halloween one too.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I'm devastated and saddened.
Saddened.
If you have a specific topic you'd like to request, we do have a topic request form. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Castro, Google Podcasts, Listen Notes, Luminary, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser, Radio Public. You could subscribe via email. We're also on Spotify, Stitcher, Swoot, TuneIn, Overcast. We re-upload on a video format onto YouTube. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, or you can email us at controllersandcouches@gmail.com. He is FullMetalChicken. I am Stephfafahh. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. I'm busting to go to the toilet.
Do it.
Have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, wear masks, social distance. May the force be with you
Live long and prosper.
and also with you.
And if you like trains, hang out at your local train station because that's where the trains be. We'd be back. I'd be FullMetalChicken, and we'd be signing off.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.